When researchers first penetrated the cabin of the aircraft that had lain buried for 40 years in Arctic ice, they saw frozen coffee cups on tray tables, open magazines on seats, and a child's doll in the aisle between the seats. But when they reached the nose section and discovered a makeshift shelter built from life jackets, then read the flight attendant's diary describing 18 days of struggle for survival in an icy hell, even the most experienced specialist couldn't hold back tears. What they witnessed shocked everyone. On December 4, 1983, according to declassified Aviation Service archives, Flight AL-743 suddenly disappeared from radar over the Arctic on one of the harshest winter days. On board were 150 passengers and crew members, including renowned polar researcher Professor Anderson, who was carrying classified data about new Arctic deposits. The last message from the aircraft commander was received at 11:47 p.m. A desperate cry for help, cut off mid-sentence, caught in severe turbulence, altitude 34,400 feet, failure of first and fourth engines, requesting emergency. Communication suddenly ceased, leaving behind only the echo of an unsolved mystery. 7 search aircraft and 3 icebreakers spent 450 exhausting hours in fruitless searches. They combed the endless icy expanses, but the Arctic wilderness reliably concealed its terrible secret. For 40 years, the mystery remained buried beneath the ice, as if guarded by nature itself, until January 2024, when a military satellite accidentally detected a metallic object hidden in the ice of the northern polar circle. Dr. James Landon had been preparing for this expedition for 15 years. Finding Flight AL-743 had become his life's work. His team represented the elite of polar researchers, NASA-trained meteorologist Sarah Collins, aviation crash investigator Mike Thornton, forensic scientist Emily Chen, and retired Navy SEAL Robert Walsh. These people carried a trail of legends. It was said they could survive even on the moon. The expedition delivered about 176,000 pounds of equipment in 3 transport aircraft. Within 24 hours, they deployed a camp with multiple modules, satellite antennas, and powerful generators. The cold penetrated every detail, testing equipment in the realm of eternal ice. Several reconnaissance drones mapped the ice mass in 3 dimensions over 2 days. On the 3rd day, conditions became a trial: 40 degrees below 0 Fahrenheit, strong winds, almost zero visibility. Arctic nature resisted human intrusion. Early in the morning, a drone operator noticed the first signs of metallic structure. Soon, the ground team reached the indicated point and saw the aircraft's tail protruding from the ice at a 40-degree angle. Radar showed the fuselage extended 89 feet into the ice mass. Extracting the aircraft became an engineering feat. 20 thermal elements melted ice at a rate of 1.2 inches per hour. 8 hydraulic supports held the walls. When the ice cracked, the sound resembled thunder. Everyone's heart stopped with fear. After several days, the first research group penetrated the aircraft through an emergency exit above the left wing. The cabin temperature held at minus 36 degrees Fahrenheit, turning the interior into a perfectly preserved time capsule. Each researcher was equipped like an astronaut, 2 oxygen tanks, and the latest generation thermal imaging equipment. The sight that opened before them was forever etched in memory. Along the aisle lay scraps of bags and gloves, as if someone's hands had tried to grasp vanishing hope in the final moment. One of the engineers couldn't hold back tears seeing an open children's book with crudely drawn suns and houses. Immediately, his own daughter's face appeared before his eyes. In the nose section, they discovered the first evidence of desperate struggle for survival. In business class, passengers had constructed a temporary shelter from 47 life jackets and 12 suitcases, a true monument to human ingenuity in the face of inevitable death. On the bulkhead, they found a calendar with notations. The last date, December 22, 1983. The diary of flight attendant Mary Parker, found in the pocket of seat 14A, contained detailed descriptions of the first 18 days after the disaster. Of 150 people, only 72 survived the first night. Captain David Harrison organized the strictest rationing system: 3.5 ounces of food and 6.8 fluid ounces of water per person per day. Flight surgeon Dr. John Mitchell provided first aid to 23 injured. using 6 first aid kits and improvised materials. The diary described horrifying details. How at 58 degrees below zero Fahrenheit, even a small scratch became a dangerous wound, and a single drop of water falling on clothing could become a death sentence. The diary pages were saturated with despair and yet incredible strength of human spirit. Suddenly, the work was interrupted by ice cracking. Through the blizzard, the team spotted a huge polar bear with 2 cubs. Robert Walsh activated acoustic deterrents, but the bears, attracted by scents and sounds, continued appearing near the camp, forcing people to remain constantly alert. The flight recorders were found in the tail section, buried deep beneath the ice. Despite damage, the data storage survived. Decryption revealed a dramatic picture of the flight's final minutes. The aircraft encountered extreme turbulence. Outside temperature dropped sharply to critical values, causing engine icing. Experts determined that unusual weather activity in December 1983, including sharp temperature fluctuations and strong air currents, played a decisive role in the disaster. Pilots tried until the last moment to stabilize the airliner, but aerodynamic stall occurring under turbulent conditions became fatal. Over 3 weeks of expedition, the team experienced numerous technical problems. In extreme temperatures, equipment constantly failed. The presence of the bear family forced round-the-clock observation. The predators, attracted by human activity, regularly appeared nearby, forcing strict safety precautions. Before departure, the team collected a colossal array of data. On evacuation day, the bears appeared again nearby. Their curiosity about human activity never diminished throughout the work period. The investigation of Flight AL-743 led to revolutionary changes in aviation. New engine heating standards, mandatory storm zone bypass routes, and enhanced weather monitoring of polar regions. These measures will save countless lives in the future. But Dr. Landon long continued to see in his dreams the faces from photographs in passengers' frozen wallets. 150 people finally found peace, but their story forever changed those who found them. The Arctic surrendered one of its secrets, but how many more mysteries these silent ice fields hold, only it knows.